All right, everybody, welcome back. It has been a minute. We took off a little more time than I thought we would for the holidays. That's more on me than my homeboy Christian, but this is From the Pocket, coming at you in the new year, coming at you on a Black Monday. A lot of coaches getting fired.
We had a Black Monday. Jesus.
18 teams sent into the offseason. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. And 14 remain. We got a great slate of games in the wild card weekend. 6 really, really good games.
I am excited for.
I am as well.
This playoff run we got.
Yeah, for sure. And I won't lie to y'all. This is not the episode we're really going to talk about it. We're going to get into that on Thursday's episode with our predictions. Dive deep into all the playoff
Super
teams.
Bowl
Maybe we got to pick those. We got to go through and pick our brackets. So it's going to be fun. Yeah. Today, though, it's about Week 18. It's about who came out of it victorious, who's going into the offseason, the coaches that are getting fired, a recap looking back at the regular season. We're going to talk about some of our predictions that we made, some that we got right, some that we got very wrong. So, Christian, I'm ready to dive in. I don't even care to tell you how my Christmas break was. I spent it in Chicago.
Nice.
with some happy Bears fans. So that was at least nice. They did lose to the 49ers while I was there, actually. But
I was upset during Christmas. Not upset, not like furious, but I was just like annoyed. I'm like, guys, these games are awful. These games are bad. This is the second year in a row NFL put their games on Christmas, and they have not lived up. And if Roger Goodell, I know you listen.
Roger listens. We know Roger listens to this pod.
Stop it. LeBron said it last year. The NBA is for Christmas. So I was just a little annoyed with that. Like I got Wemby playing the Thunder. My new GOAT once LeBron retires. Wemby probably gonna be my new GOAT. But anyway, that's from the 3-point line or whatever. Teasing
the new podcast.
I'm not locked in.
I can't do an NBA podcast. I'm sorry, y'all. I am a football person.
What we even talk about? Like,
I don't know how they do. We're getting off topic, but it is crazy people that do weekly podcasts, and it's I don't even know how you structure that. Like the NFL structure is so symmetrical. It's like once per week, anyway.
Yeah, I didn't like the NFL games over Christmas. That annoyed me a little bit. But making up to it, though, we've had some killer games these past weeks, and what a crazy way we started this season with Jalen Carter spitting on a player, and then we ended on a crazy heartbreaker by the Ravens.
That was wild. I could not believe. I was tuned in watching. Lamar gets the crazy 4th and 6 pass to Isaiah Likely. Yeah, and just for it to end like that with both kickers just shanking it, and Tyler Luke being the last one to shank his is just crazy heartbreak. We're going to get into that. I do want to start this segment out at the beginning of Week 18, though. Saturday. We had 2 games on Saturday, Panthers-Bucks, 49ers-Seahawks. I do want to talk about the Panthers-Bucks, but I want to talk about the 49ers-Seahawks first just because.
Yeah, that was for the number 1 seed. It
was for the number 1 seed. And, Christian, I don't know if you were paying attention, but we got a lot of traction on our pages because I made a prediction. I came out and I said the 49ers had no shot at beating the Seahawks. And I said this because I said they're too injured. The talent discrepancy between these two teams is just way too much. The 49ers are not as talented right now as the Seahawks. Coaching and scheming can only get you so far. They have they have pretty much the worst pass rush in the league. It's one of the two.
Oh, they have none. They have no pass rush.
I mean, and that's the way you get Sam Darnold to have a bad game. Sam Darnold had a bad game, like for the record, but you see, like he's had a bad game. He's not played well for like 2 months now. And it has not mattered. Seattle just keeps winning. They keep rolling teams. This defense is literally insane. And I had hundreds of people, a lot of 49ers fans, but just people in general, coming after me saying I'm stupid, I don't know ball, and lo and behold, we get to the game, and goes exactly the way I thought it would. The Seahawks are demonstrably better than the 49ers.
It should
across the board.
It should have been way, way worse. It should have been. I know.
Should have been 27-10.
Yeah, it should be a way worse. Seattle. I'd say lackadaisical. They just. I mean,
Sam Darnold's just not good.
Yeah,
he's just not good,
unfortunately. But I mean, they killed him on the total yards. Seattle's 361 total yards to the 49ers 173. 49ers were the only team with turnover. Seattle had 23 first downs to San Fran's 9. Seattle was better than on third down, 6 for 13, compared to the 49ers 2 for 9 in the red zone. Had the ball for nearly 38 minutes to the 49ers 22 minutes. But both these teams were awful in the red zone.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, Seattle, they win it. They get the number 1 seed. Sam Darnold gets to exercise a little bit of his demons from last year. As you know, this was a win, and you get last year against the Lions. It was a win, and you get the number 1 seed. He didn't get it done. Played really, really awful. And then he had that first game in the wild card game where he didn't play great. Now he gets to exercise a little bit of demons. Got that number 1 seed. Playoffs could be going through Seattle and the NFC if they held on. They just got to win one divisional game, and they're in the championship there. So
it's nice. Yeah, it's a good setup for them, and I mean, it just to me, it really was a statement of how I legitimately believe right now the Seahawks are the best team in the league, and I think it's especially made true considering the circumstances they're now in, where they're about to have home field advantage the rest of the way. Like the Rams, I think on paper are maybe better than them, like a little bit, but when you factor in the idea that the Rams now have to go on the road for basically all their playoff games, unless some crazy upsets happen across the board in the NFC, like they're going to be on the road the entire playoffs. And that to me is like Seattle getting a bye week and getting home field advantage negates any perceived gap there is between the Rams and Seahawks in a vacuum as teams. So I really think Seattle is set up right now. I would love to say Denver is, but Denver plays close every single game. Denver just got their asses kicked by the Jaguars in Denver. So like what? I don't have a ton of confidence in Denver compared to Seattle right now. Seattle's just so hot. They've just been so good. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, this is a crazy stat right here for you. The last time Kyle Shanahan scored only 3 points in a game, it's only happened one time ever.
Oh, no. Wait,
It was what?
Sorry, I was thinking the Super Bowl, but I was like, no,
it wasn't the
3 points.
No,
I was like, what?
He's had a couple good Super Bowls. No, the only time it's ever happened, his first game as a head coach.
Oh, they got smashed?
They got beat. I don't remember what the score was, but he only had 3 points of offense that game. It was Brian Hoyer was his quarterback. Yeah. The main receiver was Pierre Garçon. I mean, that's how far back you got to go. Like how much stuff has changed with the 49ers since then. That's how far back you have to go to see the last time his offense had this kind of performance. It was crazy. And look, I don't think the 49ers are contenders. This was a big reason why I didn't think they were going to win this game. They have to go to Philly this week, and I know Philly is susceptible, but like
I think they could beat Philly.
I think they can beat Philly. I'm not saying it's a lock, like Philly's going to win, but I do lean Philly. Like in Philadelphia, the Eagles have the more talented team. I just do not know. Even if they beat Philly, like can they beat Philly and then can they beat the Seahawks or the Bears or and all of that is on the road? Like I don't know. So
it's crazy looking at this how the NFC has. I mean, when we talk about the AFC, how this is broken down. I mean, the best quarterback, Matthew Stafford, is the 5 seed right now. And they're playing Bryce Young, get a little revenge there. But next, who would you put? Jalen Hurts second, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Where do you put Sam Darnold compared to Purdy? And then you got
I would put Sam Darnold under Purdy.
Purdy under Sam Darnold. Okay.
No, Sam Darnold under Purdy.
Oh, Sam Darnold under.
Yeah, I would put it. My order would probably be, if we're ranking quarterbacks in the NFC, Matt Stafford would be 1. I would probably
play on the road. Like he has 3 road games. Like
I'd probably put Hurts at 2. I'd put Purdy at 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably put Caleb at 4. I'd put Jordan Love at 5.
He's won a playoff game. He has won a playoff game.
Yeah, but I just think he's good. Like, he's fine. Like, again, like the whole Jordan Love. I think it's hilarious when people are like, Bears and Packers fans have this Caleb Williams or Jordan Love debate as if it's like so clear and definitive that one of them is better than the other. And it's like, guys, I hate to tell you this. I know neither of y'all want to hear this. They're in the same tier. Like, you can squabble over who's better and who, but like, they're in the same tier.
At least
I don't
Caleb
know what to tell you.
Potentially could be climbing. This is his first. Getting the 2 seed from Chicago. I am shocked. The Chicago Bears are the 2 seed. They've gotten over that curse with their quarterback has thrown for, what was it, 4,500 yards or 4,000 yards?
4,000, and he didn't even do it. He came 52 yards short, but he threw for the most in the history, so that counts for something. But yeah, I mean, I would have what? I mean, yeah, to round out the list. I mean, Darnold to me is the worst quarterback in the NFC that's left alive, but he's number 1 seed, and he's got the best team around him. He's got the best team around him. So you take out the quarterbacks, Seattle versus LA. I think Seattle is a better roster. Yeah. But obviously you got to have the quarterbacks in there. Matt Stafford is a factor there, and Matt Stafford has been awesome this year. So yeah, the Rams have been on a skid though.
This December has been rough for them, but yeah, it's interesting on how the NFC is laid out. I'm excited for it.
And with that, really, I want to talk about the NFC South just really quick.
Love the NFC South.
And we're not going to talk too much about Raheem Morris. We'll talk about that in our Coaches Fired segment in a little bit. But right now, let's just talk about the game. It's a bad game.
Both these games were bad on Saturday.
The Bucs, I mean, they took care of business. Like, they were up by 2 possessions, and obviously the Panthers made it a little interesting, but like the Bucs, I felt like throughout that game, the Bucs were pretty much in control of it. I didn't really have a doubt that they were. It felt like they finally showed we are in fact the better team here, and that's how I felt. Like it was just
slightly better. I mean,
it's not like a gap, but it didn't matter because the Saints and Falcons played actually a very good game. That was a very good game.
I love how this wasn't settled on Saturday. This had to be. Like, the NFL script writers for the NFC South, that was hilarious. The fact that the Saturday game didn't determine it, it all determined on who wins on Sunday against the Saints and the Falcons. And the Falcons got the win, which put the Panthers as the NFC South division winner.
Well, what's crazy is, like, I mean, again, it was a very good game. Tyler Shough, though, the deciding factor, 12-10. They're driving, and then he throws a pick 6, and it basically calls game. Yeah. And, man, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in some of those Buccaneers' homes after that happened. I'm sure tears were shed. No! Like, that's, I mean, horrible. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much to add to that. I know the Panthers can hang their hat on, well, we did beat, the Rams earlier this year. It's like, are you going to beat them a second time, though?
Right.
Are you going to beat them a second time? I don't think so.
Especially Bryce Young's first playoff game. Like,
yeah.
It's a whole different beast once.
And this is an experienced Rams team in the playoffs. Yeah. Like, they go to the playoffs almost every year. Sean McVay's been to 2 Super Bowls. Matt Stafford's been to a Super Bowl and won it. Like,
It's a whole different beast, and this is a winner you go home. Like I know you're at home, but like yeah, the playoffs are it's a different animal.
It would be the most 2025, 26 season thing for the Panthers to upset the Rams and be like, okay, the Panthers upset the Rams. And then they go and they beat, like, the Bears or something in Chicago.
God,
and we look up, and they're in Seattle for the NFC Championship. And then Seattle, of course, would blow them out, and that would be the end of the road.
I would be...
It's kind of, I mean, it happens.
I mean, look,
the Titans did
happens.
It, 7 years ago.
Yeah, I can't say definitively. Like, it can't. There's a possibility. There is a world or a reality or whatever you want to call it where that is possible. But man, if it actually happened,
insanity.
I would just rethink everything. I'm like, do I actually know
anything
that much about football? Yeah,
like anything, like at all.
Like you're telling
Am
me,
I
the
just
Panthers?
dumb?
Like,
see, I will not be coming out saying the Panthers have no shot. Even I'm not that silly. No, but
I don't.
I mean, they've beaten them. Like, and it's not like I was getting a lot of people who are like, do you not know that the 49ers beat the Seahawks in week 1? And it's like, it's week 1. What are you talking about?
Like, week 1 matters.
The Panthers beat the Rams not that long ago. They beat them in what, late November, early December? Like,
yeah, like late November, yeah.
Like, it was not that long ago. So, like, that's a much more, like, viable argument than, the other way around. But either way, yeah, anyway, the NFC South, that's been a stupid division. 8-9, 4th seed. This just really reaffirms my belief, and I think they will do this at some point, where I think they're going to change the way the seeding works.
No, I understand. Like, when this happens, yes, it looks bad.
But it happens so often, like where that 4th seed.
Well, so winning the division shouldn't matter.
Well, so I think the compromise is a division championship guarantees you a playoff spot, but it does not guarantee you a home playoff game. So, I would be fine with the Panthers getting the 7th seed by virtue of record and tiebreakers, but I don't think they should get a home playoff game just because they beat a bad NFC South. That way, you still have value. You still have there's still big motivation. 4 of the spots are guaranteed for division winners.
Yeah,
but the top 4 seeds are the ones that get a home playoff game. Mm-hmm. So that's how I think it should be, personally. We'll see if they ever make that change. I'm sure they'll do something weird and wonky and dumb, and it's like, why don't you just either way? We'll see. But it's weird because the argument last year was it was like we had the number 1 seed come down to these 2 division teams because their division was so stacked that year, and it's like, well, but this has never happened. And it has now happened again, where you have the 1 seed. If you're not the 1 seed, you're the 5 seed, which is like,
yeah,
okay, that's a little harsh. So the 49ers the 49ers were in the hardest division in the league. They won 12 games, and they got to go to Carolina. They got to go to Philly. Like, I mean, Philly had enough wins to like create, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Like the Rams, like why do the Rams have to go to Carolina? Like they won 12 games this year.
That is fair. I think I like your idea where if you're in a weak division, you win that division. Cool, great, you still get the playoff spot. But I would agree. Maybe not a playoff, maybe not a home playoff game. Because being 8-9. I think this is probably going to be. We'll see what happens. Like, you never know. It's the playoffs. Winner you go home. Single game elimination. Anything can happen. But I feel like this is probably going to be, unless something crazy is going on in this game, it should be one of the least watched wildcard games. I mean, and it's the first wildcard game we get on Saturday.
What a way to kick off.
We're getting great. Rams Panthers on Saturday.
Then we get
3:30 on Fox.
Bears Packers on Saturday night.
Ooh,
insane. Insane. Anyway, we got to shift our focus from the NFC, and we got to go talk about the AFC really quick. The marquee
We
game.
got a Monday one.
Yeah, we do. Texans Steelers.
Huh. Okay, I thought they were doing Monday night. Okay.
So, a lot of games that were pretty important in the AFC. You had the Broncos, obviously, beating the Chargers, securing the 1 seed. The Patriots, no offense, rolled your Dolphins. Sorry about that.
It is what it is.
We had the Bills without Josh Allen rolling the Jets, and they Jets, didn't really play for much.
Yeah, no, I feel like the Jets.
And the Jaguars beat the Titans to secure the AFC South.
Quick thing about the Jets.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
They're now the only team in NFL history.
Yep.
To not get an interception throughout the entire season.
Which is really weird considering Aaron Glenn played cornerback.
Yeah, I'm a little... Look, I'll say this. When it comes to, like, black head coaches, I root for them a little extra more, than the white head coach. Like, don't get me wrong, love Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, all those guys, love them. Brian Schottenheimer, who did really, really well for the Cowboys this year. Like, I root for those guys. But actually, I root hard.
I mean, sure. It's that representation thing. I get you.
Raheem Morris, I'm not gonna go to bat for that. It hasn't worked out really great for them. Man, dude, Aaron Glenn. I hate when it happened to Lovie Smith with the Texans. The Patriots did it last year, but man, dude, this was bad. What the Jets and what Aaron Glenn and the Jets did this year, that was bad. And I don't really like to call for coaches' jobs first year. We'll see. Like Dan Campbell's first year was not great as well, but man, dude, you were, like you said, a cornerback in this league. You were a defensive coordinator, had a really good defense in Detroit. I know you had a lot of injuries last year.
But they were still they weren't great, but it was impressive what he was doing despite all those injuries, coaching wise.
And for this team just quit and quit pretty early on, where it was like, oh, you're playing the Jets? Yeah, I'll take the team that whoever the Jets are playing. And it just hadn't looked good. I'm rooting for him. I hope he does keep the job, and I hope they get better next year. But this was, that was just not a good year. That was just
no, it wasn't.
bad.
And it's tough because, I do not to do a sneak peek into the coaching fire segment thing, but I did want to talk a little bit more. I'll give more thoughts on this, but generally I was okay with giving Aaron Glenn a second year. I'll go into that rationale in a little bit, but yeah, I didn't blame them for not wanting to do another head coaching search, but either way. Yeah, and really the game I think to talk about for the AFC, right, was the Steelers-Ravens.
Whew.
Final game of the season.
And it was great.
It was bad football, but really awesome. It was really fun to watch. I had a great time watching it.
And that fourth quarter
was crazy.
Was electrifying.
And really, it was kind of bizarre because, it really does show you how much of a difference maker having somebody like Lamar at quarterback can be. Because Pittsburgh, I just felt Pittsburgh was just dominating that game.
Really?
Early on, no. They fell down early, that 10-0 hole. But then
the Ravens just let them let them off the hook.
Exactly. And it's not to say the Steelers played well, but it just the Steelers I felt played better than the Ravens, but it didn't matter because Lamar Jackson had a couple plays of magic and put his team back in it. Now I'll give Aaron Rodgers credit. We saw some vintage Aaron Rodgers. Some vintage Aaron Rodgers in this game. That was really special.
That fire move throw was really
up
good.
The seam. That was
That Thielen throw was really good. Kenneth Gainwell was really, really good. I know we make this joke about, the black quarterback versus the white quarterback, but it did, like you said, about Aaron Rodgers and that vintage Aaron Rodgers. He was, manipulating. They talked about it almost, not want to say the entire game, but they talked about it a lot. Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth, where Aaron Rodgers working with the receivers, like night in, night out, just like working on the hand signals, and you saw that a lot. And I mean, what helped is he was getting no pressure. Like the Ravens couldn't get to him, and he was getting the ball out quick to Gainwell. As we saw, Firemouth made a great catch, Thielen, veteran guys. I think Scantling had a player play in there, in one or two of them. And yeah, I just think the Steelers did outplay the Ravens, obviously. Outside of that, Lamar's that great special team play, and then Lamar magic on that 4th and 7. But outside of that, yeah, that the Steelers did outplay the Ravens, and I mean it's kind of what we've been seeing all year.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Ravens. It's just it feels like over and over we're just waiting. It's like, but the Ravens are going to wake up.
I've been saying that. Now I was rooting for the Ravens. I picked them to win this game, and
I did
Lamar's
too.
been getting with the article coming out, him missing games, missing a week of practice, like for like November to December. So I was kind of rooting for that, just so like he can, overcome that a little bit. But at the end of the day, though, like this team wasn't trustworthy with the blown leads, with the Derrick Henry fumble. I know he didn't fumble in this game, but I bet that was...
It was a thing for a lot. Like, there was a couple of moments this season, and it just happened in week 1.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit of a reoccurring thing for Derrick Henry this year.
Yeah, and then, the defense was bad, and then it was good for a little bit, and, in this game, they were doing really, really well until Kyle Hamilton got injured.
Kyle Hamilton... feels like it's like the most gruesome injury every week, and then he's back next week, and it's like I don't understand what keeps happening with this guy.
He's a very good player. He's a very good player,
Kyle
and
Hamilton's
very
great.
Essential to that Ravens defensive scheme. And it was just very up and down throughout this season, and I don't know what their future is gonna look like. Feel so bad for that rookie kicker. Hadn't missed a kick within like 50 something yards. I think it was below 50. Hadn't missed a kick until that 44-yard kick. After the did you happen to see Lamar's presser at the end? Just the clip.
No, I actually didn't. Go ahead, tell me about it.
Okay, so they asked him. It was like, hey. How'd you feel about the it was like, because like the article and the rumors and all that, like Lamar wants a bigger contract, Lamar doesn't want Harbaugh here anymore and all that stuff, and he was kind of asked about that, and he gave he answered the question without answering the question. He's like, hey man, this is a big moment, I'm still in shock, I'm not really thinking about that. And then they asked him about Harbaugh, and he kind of reiterated that, like, I'm in shock. I'm not really thinking about that, and all that, yada, yada, yada. And just in that, with those words he chose to say, kind of feels like John Harbaugh is kind of out of the job, because he could have gave a really, love my coach, we're all devastated, all this, and then he could have did the I'm in shock or whatever. But I mean, I think he said a lot there by not saying anything about John Harbaugh coming back as the head coach.
Well, I will say this, and I think this goes to a theme that we've talked about a couple times, like the Bengals keeping Zach Taylor because, well, Joe Burrow just likes him so much, and the Ravens don't operate like that. The Ravens are not like, well, Lamar wants him out, so we got it. Like the Ravens are going to make. They're a very smart organization, and they're going to make the smart decision that's right for the football team, even if it pisses Lamar off. So, look. I'll say this, and maybe there's some reporting out there that I've just missed. I feel like I've been pretty plugged in, but like I would be surprised if they part with John Harbaugh, and I think if they do part, it'll be a mutual decision.
Yeah,
I think I don't think they're gonna fire him. I think it'll be like, do we want to keep doing this? And John's like, I don't want to keep doing this here.
Like, okay, cool.
And then they would part, but like,
yeah, I'm not thinking this is gonna be like a firing. I think this will be a parting of ways.
But I don't know. I mean, like, I think you can make the case, and I think like this is where they want to try to be right, is where it's like, this was a blip. Okay, this was a bad year. This is obviously not who we are. This is not what this roster is. Lamar missed half the season. When he played, he wasn't good. We were making terrible decisions situationally. We had a bad defense for a lot of this. That is coaching. But, like, it was just – I feel like it was just a year from hell. And I understand if the Ravens look at this and go, this does not represent, like, who John Harbaugh is, who Lamar is, who this regime has been. Let's give it another year.
Does the blown leads, does that factor into that a little bit, or
I mean,
to you does that matter a lot to you? I guess
it does. I guess I know the stats are kind of crazy on that, so like I do hear that, but I also to me this is always the question to me, and I understand that maybe it's not always relevant because sometimes you just say we just want a new voice. But, like, if we're firing John Harbaugh,
I mean, yeah,
who are we going to get?
It's Pandora's box, yeah.
And I just, I know John Harbaugh has become a little underrated just because of, like, how these last few seasons have gone. But, like, John Harbaugh's a top 8 coach. Like, he's a top 8 coach in the league. And are you going to get somebody that, like, even if you're not saying we have to get a top 8 coach, like, can you guarantee you're going to get a top 12? Like, is that out there? And maybe, Jeff Hafley is getting floated. Kevin Stefanski is not a bad option. He's a 2-time coach of the year. Like, maybe it's out there. But, and look, I mean, they hit it out of the park when they hired Brian Billick, and then they moved off of Brian Billick, and then they went and hired John Harbaugh. Like, so, like, they've had kind of that Steelers-like success where it's like they just find the right guy, and that guy is here forever. So, I don't know. I just, it's very risky if you're going to be firing a coach that has had as much success in tenure as John Harbaugh.
18 years.
Like, this isn't firing somebody who just got here and has proven to probably be, like, not even a top 20 coach. And it's like, look, I can roll the die on a random person and probably hit better than this. Like, it's tough, but we'll see. But as for the Steelers, dude, like,
they'll get DK.
Bravo.
They'll get DK. Yeah,
Bravo.
I never bought into this could be Mike Tomlin's, first losing season.
Man, I did so hard.
I felt like they're just gonna. I mean, they were doing this with Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. They were doing this.
Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph.
I love how we named Mason Rudolph. Like, this is what they do. They find a way. They'll win a game that you're just like, how did they win that game? And then they'll have some where it's just like, how did you lose that game? And then you'll just wake up and like, oh, Steelers are 9-8, 10-7, like they have been. Like, I just never bought into that narrative. And Aaron Rodgers. I think this was the most competent quarterback. Like, we kind of.
It was. Aaron Rodgers was very good this year. Like,
yeah, like we kind of poo-poo on him because of the personality, but like this is like the best, most confident quarterback they've had since Big Ben.
Well, and I want to say this. Because I really like, not to kind of contradict what everything you just said was, but like this to me was. In past years, it's been, wow, the Steelers are winning 9 games despite their quarterback play. This year was like reverse. It was, man, the Steelers' defense is really not that good this year. And, man, the Steelers don't really have much offensive firepower. Like, but Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he wasn't spectacular. He wasn't amazing, but he was competent enough where he kept them in games, and then him just being a veteran, he's like, I can win and pick my spots and make good plays here and there, and he did that. And so despite the fact that this team that they were feeling, honestly, was probably worse than a lot of the Steelers teams that we've seen recently, they still found a way to win 10 games and win the division. And I think it's what's so crazy about that is it really does go to show you how important quarterback play is. Because the Steelers have a competent roster year after year after year after year without a good quarterback. They're not winning their division. They're not hardly ever making the playoffs. And the year that their roster is just not as good as it's been, but they have competent quarterback play, is the year they go, albeit it was a down year for the division, but that's the year they go and win the division. It just speaks to how important having that quarterback is. And I hope they learn their lesson. I hope they actually address their quarterback situation in a meaningful way this year instead of not doing it until May and June and just being like, maybe Aaron Rodgers is going to come to us. Who knows?
That was a whole show. I think we always knew Aaron Rodgers was going to the Steelers because, like, who else wanted him?
He wanted to go to the Vikings bad, and the Vikings were like, we don't want you.
They might want him now.
Might have been the wrong choice, to be honest.
But, I mean, yeah, they're getting DK back. So it's going to be interesting. They're playing the Texans Monday night.
I think the Texans are going to roll them.
We'll see. Now, you know, they love their quick game. And, I mean, Aaron Rodgers got to work back there because he wasn't getting pressured. And it's going to be interesting to see how he can work this now with a way, way better pass rush.
Yeah. Well, and
they get their home fans.
They do, and we talk about being a home underdog in Pittsburgh. That's money. That's money a lot of times. So I'm not saying they don't have a chance, but
-3. Okay.
I'll say this: Aaron Rodgers this season, number 1 in least time to throw. He was not saying he was being pressured faster than everybody else. This times how fast, on average, the quarterback hikes the ball to when they throw. 2.59 seconds, first in the league.
Oh no, he was dinking and dunking. Kenneth
all
Gainwell,
season. That was their offense.
But like the game specifically on Sunday, like he was like, I don't see it. Kenneth Gainwell dump off, and Kenneth Gainwell would just make a play.
Yeah, no,
I like Kenneth Gainwell.
And I think you're gonna see Aaron Rodgers try to implement this, like more than he has all year long. Like he's going into this game knowing, okay, I have to get the ball out even faster than I've been doing it this year, like against this pass rush, because they're gonna eat me alive. And I mean, he's old, like he don't want to get hit. So, and that's really all I got on that. If you want, Christian, let's do a brief just around the league recap really quick of some games we didn't talk about. Sure. Browns Bengals. Myles Garrett gets the sack record.
Congrats
to Myles Garrett. They upset the Bengals. I was just very happy to see him get that. So congrats to him. Yeah. Jaguars beat the Titans, get the AFC South crown. The Texans win a crazy game against the Colts. But, I mean, how crazy is it that you say, all right, Houston, you're going to win the last 8 games of your season, and you're not going to win your division.
Oh, my God.
Because the Jaguars are going to win 13 games this year.
They did. They won 8. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they did that.
Yeah, but they lost it because the Jaguars won their last 7.
Yeah.
So possibly the two hottest teams in the NFL. Easily, I mean, maybe you want to throw the Patriots in that mix too, but like, the Patriots don't have the win streak that these two teams have, and they don't have it against the competition these two teams have. So, like, just congrats to the Texans and Jaguars for 2 great seasons. But, you know, Houston, sorry you got to go on the road, but that's okay. Man, they won this division with 10 wins back-to-back years, and they couldn't win it with 12 this year. That's insane.
Jags just, shout out to Liam Cohen.
Vikings thumped the Packers. Nothing here. The stupid game. I didn't see hardly any of it. I didn't. Like, I was hit 100.
Did he hit his 1,000?
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
He hit his 1,000 very early in this game, actually. Yeah, I was not watching this game very much. I was trying to watch Texans, Jags. I was trying to watch Falcons, Saints. I was trying to see Myles Garrett get that sack record. I was keeping an eye on the Cowboys, but whatever. I did not have any interest in this game. But the Vikings do finish 9-8.
Yeah.
And the Packers finished with 9 wins. Who said that? Who said that was going to happen? When everybody was saying the Packers are going to win 13 games this year.
Go to Super Bowl.
Who said, I think they'll win 9? It was me. I said that. I said they'd win 9. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Lions beat the Bears. This was a dumb. Dude, the Bears are starting to really piss me off. They're really starting to piss
back
me
thing.
off,
I don't know. This arc that they're on this year. Yeah,
they were down 16-0 in this game, and they tied it. And I'm like, wish you could do that in the first 3 quarters.
Right?
You'd be really good if you could do that in the first 3
really
quarters.
Good if you could put a whole game together.
Chicago fourth quarter times 4 is the best team ever assembled. Best team ever assembled. Yeah. Anyway, Raiders beat the Chiefs, get the number 1 seed anyway. Or the first overall pick.
Yeah. Nice to win a game and still you get the number 1. I mean, awful for the Raiders. Pete Carroll did part ways with him, and they're getting the number. They're still terrible, and they get the number 1 seed this year.
Rams beat the Cardinals. This was a close game for a lot of it, but the Rams pulled away in the second half. 37-20, they get a dominating win. Broncos beat up on a Chargers team that's like whatever.
It was funny because I was like picking the game, what line I wanted to take, which I didn't hit. I took the Cowboys.
Same.
And I was looking, I'm like, why are the Broncos minus 14? And, another quick rant. Week 18 betting should not be legal. This should not be legal.
Really, yeah.
Like, because I'm like sitting here, I'm like, well, they're resting starters. This team's not resting starters. I'm just like, bro, like, this should not be okay.
Dude, they let you gamble on the preseason. You know what kind of degenerate you have to be to gamble on a preseason game?
No money line.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you're a degenerate. You are out of your mind if you're betting. So yeah, I'm kind of. It's the same vibe where it's like, how are you even trying to bet on week 18? I said I did go 3-2 this week. I did go 3-2. I did go 3-2. I know I didn't think it was going to happen, but. Anyway, and then your last one, Patriots thump your Dolphins. Commanders beat the Eagles backups. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into. I want to talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about coaches fired really quick. Actually, before we do that, let's wrap up the season here. First off, wanted to say this. Of the 14 teams, we talk about every year, you gotta predict half the teams as new playoff teams every year. And you put in some crazy teams, off the wall teams, and everybody's like, why did you put that team in? And it's like, because half the teams are gonna be different. We had 14 teams going to the playoffs this year, Christian. Guess how many of them were different from last year?
Man, I just had the schedule up. Hold on. So the Bears are new, Carolina's new, so that's 2. 49ers didn't make it, so that's 3.
That's new.
On the NFC. Oh, did Seattle? No, did
Seattle did not. Seattle did not.
Oh, damn. Seattle missed it. Yeah, so that's 4. Okay, I think that's all of them from the NFC.
Oh, yeah, from the NFC, yeah. Yes, it's
okay, so
3 from the NFC.
The Steelers didn't make it last year. The Broncos did make it. The Jags.
It was 4 from the NFC. I misspoke.
The Jags, the Chargers, and the Patriots. So 8. Wait,
I have 7.
7. Yeah, I didn't do this one. I didn't.
Yeah,
I forgot about my thing. So 7.
Patriots, Jags, Steelers, Seahawks, Bears, Panthers, 49ers. 7 teams, half the teams new.
Yeah.
And here's the most insane stat from this year. It's, in my opinion, it's maybe not the most insane, but it's one of the most insane. Of the 8 division winners, 7 of them were different from last year.
Damn.
And the only one that was the same
was the Eagles.
Who we have never seen somebody repeat in that division for more than 2 decades.
Yeah.
So Broncos new, Patriots new, Jaguars new, Steelers new, Seahawks new, Bears new, Panthers
We're
new.
saying Steelers are new, even like it kind of goes back and forth for the AFC North about who wins that division because there's no stranger that the Steelers win. This
Yeah, but it's new compared to last year.
No, that is fair. That is fair. But
I mean, absolutely craziness. Just shows you
this year has been absolutely bananas.
Now I will say this. I think there was a little bit of a narrative building that the NFL is becoming too predictable. And I think this shows you, this is an example that it's not too predictable. Yeah. I mean, again, half the playoff teams are different. That is statistically consistent to every year. 7 of the 8 division winners being different. That is insane. One of the teams that went to the Super Bowl last year did not make it this year. Last year, one of the teams that went to the Super Bowl did not make it either, the 49ers. So it's unpredictable. I will say something, though, that is becoming, I think, a bit of a problem is how many god-awful teams there are. There's just so many bad teams now. I mean, the Jets are unwatchable. The Titans, the Raiders, unwatchable. The Giants, borderline unwatchable. The Cardinals, unwatchable. I mean, that is, you're getting almost to a quarter of the league now where it's like, I don't want to ever watch this team in my life.
Blame the owners, blame the GM, stop blaming the players, and go after these millionaires that are just collecting the checks some of the time. Like that happens. There are owners in the NFL that's just like, eh.
I mean, but I do think it is a coaching thing. I mean, coaches make so much money now, and it's like there is an element. I was hearing John Middlecoff was actually talking about this on his podcast yesterday, where he was saying back in the 80s, he's like, money was not why you got into this sport. There was money, but it was you did this because you wanted to be involved in football. He's like, now he's like, you have position coaches who make $850,000 and they barely know what they're doing. He's like, there's just so much money now that he's like, I think there is a lot of people in this league that just do not actually really care about this sport. It is a job to them, and it is a job that makes them a lot of money. And he's like, I don't think coaching has been as bad. And I also think, I know it's not fun to say because it is a little bit controversial because the CBA, they fought for the CBA all those years ago. But I think what it's resulted in is it's resulted in a sloppier product. It has. You're not practicing in pads like you used to. You're not practicing in that way. And I think what's going on is when you get onto the field, you have more injuries now because, I mean, these players are crazy now. I mean, the athletes that we're putting out on the field nowadays and if you're not practicing that consistently and then you get out on the field, you're going to tear something. You're going to have what happened to Malik Neighbors. You're going to have what happened to Nick Bosa. It's just, I think there's a lot of challenges, and I think a lot of that does result. And I also think, again, it's just the over-reliance on offense, and more specifically, the over-reliance on quarterbacks. I mean, it's not a mistake. The Patriots were a bottom-dweller team, and they get the coach and the quarterback right. Quarterback goes into year 2, takes a jump. They're 14-3. I mean, the Bills were a bottom dweller my entire life. They get Josh Allen, perennial Super Bowl contender. And you have teams like the Jets, like your Dolphins, like the Browns, historically speaking, like the Titans even, or the Raiders, who they have no shot of doing anything because they don't have a quarterback. And especially in the AFC, the NFC gets a little different because it's more of a roster conference. That's why you have a Seahawks team, or the Eagles, where it's Jalen Hurts, how good is he? I don't know, but that roster is amazing. I really think that's something the NFL needs to address, is just how do we deal with and maybe it is holding the owners accountable. Maybe I don't know what it is. I don't know if they can force somebody to sell teams or not, but it's
I wish they.
How do we address the Jets?
I have talked about this. I think you should get, if you buy a team or you get into this business, you have a decade. And if you're not, I'm not even saying you got to be a Super Bowl contender year after year after year, but you at least need to be making the playoffs consistently. You need to be at least winning, 10-9 games at least consistently. You just got to be in that mix. You just can't be, like you said, the Jets uh, who've just been perpetually just been bad. The Browns who've been perpetually bad. We'll see how the Dolphins handle this, but we have kind of been in that territory too. We still haven't won haven't been to the Super Bowl since Dan Marino retired, and haven't won a playoff game since like 2000. Chad Pennington, 2008, whatever. Haven't won a playoff game.
You haven't. That was the last time you went to the playoffs.
Went to the playoffs.
Or no. I mean, that was
game,
because y'all didn't win that. Y'all lost to the Ravens that year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Oh, so it's probably before then.
2003, I think.
So yeah, we haven't won a playoff game since 2003.
One of those.
Like I wish we could. Yeah, I wish Roger Goodell should do something about that, because like all these fans it's a sport. We love it. It's for entertainment, but at the same time, like, we spend all this money. We pay for, to get our favorite players' jerseys. We go to the stadium. We pay for that parking that is way overpriced. We pay for the way overpriced concession stands and all this yada, 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 all this stuff. And yeah, when we get out in the field and we can't even root for our favorite teams because our teams are bad.
It's tough.
Hard.
Yeah.
We're just with... That gets home to a whole different issue, but whatever.
It does. But I do hear you. It does, like, I like the idea of like creating a rule where it's like, look, you have to at least go to the playoffs with once every 10 years. And if you don't, like, not saying you were going to force you to sell the team, but like there's some mechanism where you like have to like consider selling. Or they start bringing in people to like bid or like, I don't know what it is, but like, and I understand like that gets into a weird, who really controls the teams then? Is it like the NFL or is it like why, because there's technically like 32 separate companies. So like it's
fair.
It's a little weird, but like something like that to just like, there has to be some level of accountability where it's just like Dan Schneider was horrible. And they get Josh Harris in, and Josh Harris first year takes them. And I know they didn't have a great year this year, but like it was a season from hell this year. So like it's more competent ownership though, and you see the outcome. So anyway, all right.
I mean, it top down too. Like it starts at the top, and if the top is unorganized and not fit for their jobs, that trickles down into the coaching, into the players, and what we see, on a week-to-week basis.
Man. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about coaches getting fired.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. The big one that came out almost immediately after the games ended happened in the middle. The announcement happened in the middle of the Ravens Steelers game.
Yeah, they did not. Arthur Blank did not hesitate. He's like, get out.
Yes, they cleaned house.
Get out.
And
then this morning I saw this update. Hey, we fired the CEO too. I was like, God, Arthur Blank, chill.
I mean, this went exactly to what I said at the beginning of the season, where I was like, this team feels like to me, and I wasn't right about it in a specific way, but like my thought was, this feels so much to me like an 8-9, 9-8 team that is still a year or so away. And what's going to happen when they do that? Because I feel like they just traded a first-round pick. They're going to be looking at this team. Arthur Blank's going to be looking at this team going, we should be competing right now. And especially in a division where the winner just won 8 games. And they went 8-9. And they got hot at the end, but like, they traded away some draft capital to do it.
Do they
Michael
have the
Penix
quarterback?
does
Yeah.
not maybe look like the answer in terms of the future. And, I mean, it's also tough because it's like Mike Vrabel just got hired by them and took them from 3 wins to 14 wins.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm supposed to wait around for another year and say,
No,
nah,
like,
but
we'll
next
get
year
this-
he'll get me 10. Next
Yeah.
year he'll get me 10 or 11. It's like, it was tough. And I knew it was going to come down to that where, like, this team is
Falcons fans have been dreaming for this day. So
Yeah.
I know they're happy. I know Atlanta fans are happy.
Yeah. And, I mean, I was skeptical of the Raheem Morris hire to begin with. Like,
You were.
because he was the Bucs head coach and he was mid. And, like, not to take away, like, he's a great defensive-minded coordinator. Like, he's had some great success as a defensive coach. That's why he's been hired twice now. But, like, I just never bought that. Like, I'm like, this is like such a retread hire. Like, what is this really the guy that's going to make y'all contenders? Like, y'all aren't far off. Like, you have a good team, Atlanta. You draft pretty well. And, and obviously they got rid of Terry Fontenot, and I don't know. It's tough. But anyway, Terry Fontenot ended his 5-year tenure. Now, let's talk about the real one. Kevin Stefanski is fired.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
But,
I don't like the firing. But I'm like, okay. I hear
understand it.
I understand. That's why I'm like, I don't like it, but I understand it.
Yeah.
What I don't understand
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
is why you keep Andrew Berry.
Exactly. Like,
That makes no sense to me.
Why are you cleaning? So my thing is, like, I feel like it, it hasn't been gone great. Also, I feel like it wasn't just Kevin Stefanski. I know, like, I felt like both of them had to have been in on that together. I think they were pretty proud of drafting him in the 3rd round. We've speculated, and it's probably true that, the ownership stepped in or whatever and took Shador in the 5th round. But I think Andrew Berry gotta wear some of that too. Trading and signing Deshaun Watson, and we don't even want to see him in a Browns uniform anymore.
I just, like...
I agree with you. I don't love the Kevin Stefanski firing,
I could get behind... Like, it's like, look, this tenure hasn't worked.
Yeah.
We're cleaning house, and we're going to restart. It's like, okay, fine. I get that. I don't love Kevin Stefanski's a two-time coach of the year. He's taken you to the playoffs twice. He's won you a playoff game. Like, and he went to the playoffs with 2 different quarterbacks, mind you. And you have not done an adequate job of giving him quarterback talent. Like, you had one in Baker, and you said not good enough for whatever reason, as if the Browns can even dare to be picky about quarterback play. And you bring in Deshaun Watson, as you said, who was just, I mean, we don't even need to talk about it, how insane that entire thing was.
Still getting paid.
Yeah, he's going to be getting paid for a long time. He's about to get some void years on that contract. Like, it's going to be a thing they're paying for forever. And, I mean, at one point he's winning games with Joe Flacco. Like, Shadur Sanders didn't look that bad. Like, he was looking okay here and there. He had some moments. Like, in what world do you look at what Andrew Berry has done with this roster and say, yeah, we got to keep. And look, I'm not like he's made some good picks defensively. Yes. This defense has been really good. They've got some good, a ton of great defensive pieces. Like, I'm not saying like he's done a terrible job, but like, I think Kevin Stefanski has proven his worth to this team way more than Andrew Berry has, and to not move off of Andrew Berry but move off of Kevin Stefanski is just wild. And Kevin Stefanski is going to get picked up immediately in this cycle.
He had already. I think he's getting hired. He's getting interviews for all the head coaching vacant spots already. Like, this guy. Yeah. I think I saw a tweet. It's like, it's funny how the guy who basically what you said, like 2-time head best coach of the year, whatever the award is called. You fire a guy that has this resume and is already a top candidate for a lot of teams that are looking for head coaching spots.
Yeah, like, that's a bad sign.
That is a very bad sign.
And I will say this, also, just to kind of, I guess, pivot off of that, Jonathan Gannon was fired as well.
Not shocked by that one.
No, I mean this entire season was just Look, I appreciate this is the Cardinals are gonna move off of Kyler Murray this year.
Yeah.
So the Cardinals are going into a hard reset, and that to me is like I'm not saying like Jonathan Gannon deserved to get fired. Like I didn't think he did a horrible job with them. It was a bad year this year, but they also had a ton of injuries. Like it wasn't all him, but like this gets into that Brian Daboll thing from last year where it's like, okay, you're going to get a new quarterback and you're going to bring in a head coach that is on the hot seat. You're already setting that guy up for failure. So this year it's like we already know we're rebuilt, we're restarting hard. We're going to bring in a new quarterback. Let's not go in to the season with a new quarterback and a coach that's already on the hot seat. Like, let's just bring in a new guy from scratch.
Yeah.
Let's bring in a regime that's together, that can develop together. Like, I think in that sense, it is the right move. But man, dude, the Cardinals, like, I had them going to the playoffs. I didn't feel great about it. I kind of just had to have somebody there.
Well, it's funny because, they were, before we started doing the picking, they were probably going to be my seventh seed. Yeah. But I moved off of them. And I went to the Giants, so.
Well,
I went to the
you
Giants.
went from one 3-win team to another 3-win or 4-win team, whatever they finished with.
But yeah, it's not great. Another thing I forgot to mention about Atlanta. So they're getting rid of Raheem Morris. It just made me think about Jonathan Gannon and then moving off Kyler. Atlanta Hawks are trading Trae Young, so I just think that's a.
Is Trae Young valid?
No. That guy, one of the guys in that video, I don't know if you heard about Marty Supreme's new Timothy.
Of course, yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't seen it yet.
One of the dudes in those Knicks videos is in Marty Supreme. I saw it on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
And I saw
good for that guy.
Little short on him, and yeah, I'll tell you about him off the air.
Yeah, sure.
Inappropriate, but
Okay.
I think that was just crazy.
That's funny. All right, and then the Raiders, as we talked about, moving off of Pete Carroll. Man, this one really hurt.
Dude, this really was. Because
we were so high on this team.
Yeah, I think before the season started, I was like, oh, this is the best hire.
It was. I agree. I mean, outside of Mike Vrabel, like, I really did think this was the best hire. And, like, I liked again, I'm not saying they were a great team, but, like, I felt like they had the infrastructure to really go win 9 games. Like, I thought Geno Smith would be good.
7-10, maybe.
I mean, but like I thought, my entire theory was do not be surprised if we get to week 13 and you look up and the Raiders are in the wild card hunt, because that's what Pete Carroll does. That's what Pete Carroll has always been. And they had a quarterback that had several years as a starter. Like, not to say Geno was an elite quarterback. I thought some people were being crazy when they were putting him top 10, but like, he was a middle-of-the-pack quarterback, and that stops your bleeding. That's better than what the Raiders have had at quarterback for a long time. They had Ashton Genty to take pressure off him, who was supposed to be a great player. They had Brock Bowers, an ascending player. Jacoby Myers was really good on the outside. He got traded to Jacksonville and has been phenomenal for them in the games he's played. And I mean, they had a good front seven with Max Crosby. I thought Pete Carroll could squeeze every bit of juice out of that, even though they did have some holes in their secondary. And it all was just horrible. It was just terrible.
Hired his son. I think that was a controversy. Like, brought his son to do the offensive line, and they've had offensive line issues all season. If you watch the film of the Raiders' offensive line, it was just not a good look. Like you said, I was really disappointed too. I called this probably the best hire of that cycle last year, and for the season to go the way it did, and and just how it went, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great. And now they do have the number 1 pick, so we'll see what they do with that. This is going to be an interesting draft. Are they going to go quarterback? I don't know if you really even take one of the quarterbacks first overall. So this might be a trade back year, get more assets out of it. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Raiders do with this pick. And hopefully they can they can get the right coach in there, and then we'll see what they do. Did they fire their GM too, or just Pete Carroll?
John Spytek is still sticking around, so but
we'll see what he does.
Yeah, he's got to be on the hot seat. I mean,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So anyway, all right. Any more head coaching fires you want to talk about right now, or anything else on that?
The Colts are keeping Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen. How do you feel about that move? I know it's very crazy how this year the Colts were 7-1, 8-2. Make the big trade for Sauce Gardner. He gets injured a couple weeks later, and they lose. What did they lose?
A lot, all their games.
Like the they.
Well, they haven't won a game since the Falcons game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They went on a 7-game losing skid.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest collapses I think in the history.
It's one of them.
Of this. Now I will say, look, this is where it gets a little weird because I'm a big fan of Shane Steichen. I have respect for Chris Ballard, so I'm a little torn on this because I do think Shane Steichen is a good coach, and I think he has proven he's a good coach. But on one hand, I know Daniel Jones got hurt, but it was not going well before he got hurt. He had already been playing not well for a little bit.
Yeah, the league had stopped Jonathan Gannon.
And two, look, you can't lose your last 7 games. I don't care who you got at quarterback.
You mean can't win one of them?
You got a good enough roster to win one of them. This is. And
some of these games were close, 23-20 to the Chiefs.
Overtime against the Chiefs. That was a blown lead. For the record, that was a blown fourth quarter lead. They were down in that game 20-9. And then you have they lost to the Texans the next week,
20-16.
Thumped by the Jaguars. They put up a fight against the Seahawks, but couldn't get it done.
18-16.
Blown out by the Niners.
And then it was a close game against the Jags again, 23-17.
Maybe that's what Carly Ursay is looking at. She's like, look, we were in a lot of these games. I think we're going in the right direction. And I don't necessarily think you have Shane Steichen to me has coached well enough to where he can sustain having a bad half-season stretch. So, I think that's the logic, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was due to coaching. I just think it was...
Even the Chris Ballard thing, even the Chris Ballard thing, I understand Sauce Gardner, trading away 2 first-round picks, and it didn't work out as well as you wanted it to, but,
be feeling that for quite a
in
while.
The moment, I didn't hate the decision. It was bold, it was risky, but, yeah, okay, I get if Chris Ballard knew Daniel Jones' Achilles was going to get blown out and it wasn't going to be their defense that really caused them to falter, then yeah, I think he might not made that trade. But they were the hottest team in the league. At the time they made the trade, they were coming off a bad loss to the Steelers, which everybody said, yeah, you're going to lose here and there. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And they make that trade. And at the time they make that trade, they think we're a contender. And there was no sign they weren't. So, I don't hate keeping them around, but I do understand if it's we need to see some development here. We need to see some real development.
They need to get the quarterback. They need to get their quarterback situation figured out.
Yeah,
they need to get that fixed.
And yeah, their 8-2 start before injuries probably swayed Carly Ursay-Gordon to run it back. That's what I think is being reported.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't sweep that under the rug. Starting 8-2, you're one of the hottest offenses.
I mean, historically great offense.
Great offense, and then you had a few bad games, and then your quarterback goes down, and the season's over. So I could see. I don't hate it as well, but I mean, they probably should come into this season on a little bit feeling the heat a little bit.
And with that, we can move on. We can go over draft order really quick.
Oh, I got that right here. Let me open up my phone. So as we said, the Raiders get the number 1 pick with a win because why did they get the number 1 pick? Somebody won.
The Giants.
The Giants won. And they put the Raiders in number 1. So number 1, we got the Raiders at 3-14. Number 2, we have the Jets, 3-14. Arizona, 3-14. Tennessee at 4, 3-14. Giants, Browns, Commanders, Saints, Kansas, KC.
Top 10 pick at 9.
Top 10 pick, and the Bengals at number 10.
Can I read you this really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here are the Bengals according to NFL.com, their biggest needs. Edge, defensive line, cornerback, safety.
Yep.
All defense, and then offensive line, of course.
Yeah, I was like, offensive line should be
offensive line. It's just funny. It's just like they need defense. You just put defense, you know?
Yeah, they need offensive line, obviously, because they're set offensively. They're playing two number 1 receivers. They got their quarterback of the future.
And then we got number 11 is your Dolphins after the Bengals.
Okay, I was wondering who was number 10 or who was number 11.
Number 12 is the Cowboys.
Hey, we did that. What did we do last year? Like you were ahead of us, or like I remember one year. I think it was me and you back to back.
And then number 13, the Rams.
Yeah,
because they have the Falcons pick.
Damn.
The Ravens are 14.
Okay.
The Bucks are 15. The Jets are 16. Then we have the Lions.
Oh, the Jets got 2 first-round picks?
Yeah, they got one from the Colts for Sauce.
They have the number 2 and number 16. Damn, that's pretty good.
And then the Lions, the Vikings, and then that's all we have right now. Everything else is still up in the air. The Cowboys will get the Packers pick, though. So,
nice.
I'm rooting for the Bears anyway because my wife's family is for the Bears, but I am rooting against the Packers for the Cowboys' sake as well. So,
that is fair.
I have investment in that also. Anyway, yeah. All right, Christian, before we get out of here, I wanted to just put a little bit of bow on the regular season because from here on out, it's playoff football. It's playoff football. What was your favorite prediction you made from this season?
Ooh, that is a good one. Favorite prediction was
the thing that you called that you're like, God, I'm so good at this.
Ooh. Oh man, I have my worst one. Quick, fast. I had my first one.
Man, you're just a Debbie Downer. Just like, well, I got my worst one.
Well, I
know why I suck. You know.
What was my favorite one? I guess the Patriots being not this good.
Yeah.
Did I have the? Yeah, I think I had the. No. Did I have the? No, I definitely had us missing.
You had the Dolphins missing the playoffs, yeah.
Okay, so I guess it's the Patriots, I guess. Saying they're... maybe Jacksonville. I said they'd be the 7th seed. They ended up getting the 1 seed.
Nice,
13-4. So, yeah, I'll go Jacksonville. I thought with Liam Cohen coming in, I thought he would change life for Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, and he did. But I didn't know how much of an impact he was going to make, and it was great. You know, Trevor Lawrence...
13 wins.
13 wins. Trevor Lawrence was probably the best quarterback in this back half of this season.
He has been fantastic.
That defense getting turnovers. Travis Etienne kind of revitalizing his career in the NFL at the running back position. So, yeah, I guess saying the Jags were going to be good. I didn't think they'd be this good. But I think that's one of my favorite. Like, getting the Jags getting back into maybe not contention, but relevancy, I guess. But hey, they can make a run. Like, they're pretty solid.
I agree. They got a tough matchup this week.
They do
with the Bills, but it'll be fun. But anyway, we got for me, my favorite prediction. I got 2. It was the 2 predictions I hung my hat on at the beginning of the year. It was the 2 things that I said. Everything else is ancillary, okay? I had the Jaguars winning the South.
Nice.
Whatever. Whatever. I almost had the
Just
Lions
dust it
missing the
out like-
playoffs.
I had them. I did that.
I almost had the Lions missing the playoffs, but I didn't have the guts to stick it out.
You should have there.
I had the Patriots being good. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't even care. Had the Cowboys winning 7 games. Don't even care. I was right about that too. Had the Eagles winning back to back. All that stuff.
I think I said the Eagles too. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah. And we had the Commanders being very bad this year. So that was another area we got it.
Favorite. That might have been. Yeah.
The pick that I'm hanging my hat on, the 2 Broncos elite team.
Yeah.
Number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Number 1 seed Denver Broncos.
They have a good chance of being in the AFC Championship too.
Mm-hmm.
They just got to win one playoff game.
And on the other side of the bracket, I already talked about it. Packers 9 wins.
Yeah.
Packers 9 wins. Those are the 2 takes that I hung my entire football livelihood on this year. And look, I will say I was a little wrong. The Packers did make the playoffs. I had them missing the playoffs. They got the 7th seed because they got Matt LaFleur, the 7th seed merchant.
That's how they do.
3rd year in a row, 7th seed. 3rd year in a row.
Yeah.
Nobody's benefiting from that 7th seed more than the Packers are. Nobody. Not even close.
I think Matt LaFleur's a really good coach. It's just really tough.
Now, I will say this. What's really interesting is, I'm not going to pretend like I have any idea how this Bears-Packers game is about to go. No idea. I have no idea how this game is going to go. If the Packers win, it will only be the 2nd time the 7th seed is won. And the first time was the Packers beating the Cowboys. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, so those are my favorite predictions. All right, Christian, what's your least favorite? What's the one that you just got clowned on for being so wrong about?
I mean, I've talked about this so much, but I'll reiterate it again. I can't tell you. I told multiple people. Multiple people that the Giants were going to be good this year because I was like, Russell Wilson is a competent quarterback. That defense had a young, hungry defense. Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Dexter Lawrence. Like the defense, that defensive line could be like top 5, maybe even the best defensive line in the league after this season. All they needed, they had, Malik Neighbors. Their running back was okay. I was like, they're going to be really solid. And if they need to, they got that rookie that will just be sitting back, learning the system and all that stuff. And I was just like, Giants can not win the Super Bowl, but make a surprise push for the playoffs and get the 7th seed. And that did not happen one bit. It's just the same old Giants. Same old Giants. We got 4-13. Jackson Dart had some flashes here and there, but also just very immature and made some dumb decisions with concussions and all that. It did. Brian Dable running in the blue tent, screaming at the medical staff. What are you doing? They are keeping
memes.
their GM, by the way.
Yeah, Joe Shane is sticking around. That's crazy.
Sticking around.
That's crazy.
And Abdul Carter's had some weird stories coming out. I don't know if you're familiar with some of those. But yeah, it was just all around bad season. And, it was funny. We just, we joked about it. I went from thinking Arizona was going to be that team that, like, hey, don't sleep on Arizona. But then I backed off them and chose the other 3-14 team, and it was the Giants. So yeah, that one really hurt. That one really hurt.
That one was tough.
Multiple people, and I was talking big stuff, like not to win the Super Bowl or anything, but like, hey,
they're gonna be good. They're gonna be a competent team, and
competent. Yeah. They're gonna get into the playoffs and probably lose, but hey, it'll be a step in the right direction. And they just drafted their probably quarterback of the future.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Look, I won't lie. I had a few misses that I was not proud of. Obviously, the Chiefs. I had them going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think I had them in the championship.
Yeah. I had them beating the Broncos in the AFC Championship. That was my prediction. So that was tough.
Hey, you could be Nick Wright, and you could pick the Raiders.
I did. I did. Oh my God, he had the Raiders going to the AFC Championship.
No. He had the Chiefs winning, but the Raiders.
Yeah. I had the Raiders as a sleeper team, but I didn't pick them officially to make the playoffs. But I mean, the Raiders obviously were very bad, and I didn't see that coming. I said the Steelers would finish below 500, so that's a bad bet by me. I was not alone in this, but I was one of many that said the Bills would win their division yet again. I mean, they won 12 games. So
they made the playoffs. I don't think you should be feeling. Nobody should be clouding you. Like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, the Patriots. We had the Patriots winning 10, 11 games. They won 14. I don't think anybody that's why it's like hard to take credit for the Patriots, because it's like, well, I said they'd be good. It's like, did you have them winning 14 games? It's like, well, no. I said that, I mean, I had the Bears finishing last in the North. They won.
I think I also had the Bears. I think I had the Vikings then the Bears.
I had the Vikings making the playoffs, 9-8. They didn't make it. I will say this: the NFC North, every team had a winning record in it.
Yeah,
and the Lions, it literally flipped. It flipped itself. It went from last year, the order of the division.
They're the only division that all teams had a winning record.
Yeah,
every team had a winning record. Damn.
It's only happened one other time. Which was a couple of years ago with the AFC North. Dang. If you remember that. But this division flipped its order. It went last year. It was Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. This year it was Bears, Packers, Vikings, Lions. So Lions went from first to worst. Bears went from worst to first. Vikings went from second to it flipped. So that's pretty hilarious. But I had the Vikings as my sleeper team. They obviously they almost got there, but little too late, 9-8. The thing that I am the most embarrassed about, though, the thing that really keeps me up at night, was that I said the Seahawks were going to go 7-10.
I thought you were. Huh.
I had the Seahawks finishing last place in this division.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you did. You were down on this. I think we both were. Too.
We were. I was like, I don't trust Sam Darnold behind that offensive line. Sam Darnold was terrible under pressure. Yeah. And that offensive line, I did not feel like they addressed it. And
I feel like the Giants one for me was way worse.
Yeah.
For me,
I'm really sad because I've been such a fan of Seattle this year, and they're so fun to watch, and they're so well built, and they're so well coached, and their defense is amazing. And I knew their defense would be amazing this year. I just was like, this offense, I can't trust it. And I mean, I was partially right. Like, this offense this back half of the season has been a little bit more suspect, but even with it, they're still scoring 25 plus points a game. Their defense isn't giving up more than 15. Like, it's just unfortunate because I feel like I would have even more fun watching them if I had been one of those guys at the beginning of the season. I was like, Seattle, that's the sleeper team. Watch out.
14 games.
Watch out. That's the sleeper team.
Getting the number one seed, especially
the Broncos. My sleeper team in the AFC got the number one seed.
That's fair.
So, yeah, that's probably my saddest prediction. But it's a lot of right, a lot of wrong. Like, that's football, baby. All right.
Yeah, that's the NFL.
Well, that's it. We put Week 18 to bed. We put the NFL regular season to bed. Christian, it's over. We got 13 games left.
I'm not ready.
13 games. You better make them count. Better watch them all.
Not ready.
39 hours of football left in the world this year. Or this season, not this year.
Don't say that.
You got to make it count. All right, everybody. We'll be back on Thursday to break down the playoffs. We're going to give our playoff predictions. We're going to give our wild card predictions. We're going to break down the weaknesses of every team. We're going to do it all. We might save the weaknesses for the next round because that's 14 teams is a lot. We're going to be here for like 5 hours. We do that. So we'll get back to y'all. But until next time, we love you. We cherish you. Have a great day. Take it easy. Take it sleazy. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app. Give us a like. Give us a comment. Give us a rating. Give us a share. Talk about us at the water cooler. Come back to us and clown us for our takes or compliment us. But just know that if I make a take and you clown me for that take and I end up being right, you're going to look really silly. You're going to look really silly. And all y'all going to be like, you're going to come back to this when you're wrong? I'll be back. Are you going to be back? Because I saw a lot of y'all. I saw a lot of y'all not come back after saying you were going to be back.
They never do.
I know. I would have been back. I was ready. I had my script ready for when I was wrong. I was ready to record. I was ready to get clowned on. All y'all disappeared. For shame. All right, everybody. Take it easy. Bye.